Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So Ole Gunnar Solsjaer has confirmed that Harry Maguire will remain Manchester United captain. Now, there's some Manchester United fans that don't think Harry Maguire is good enough to captain the team. I said, didn't I, I would give the captaincy to either Bruno Fernandes or Paul Pogba because they are the two players that show fantastic leadership in the team. Now, obviously, this season is Harry Maguire's second season at Manchester United, and there is still aspects of his game that have got to improve. Last season, obviously, was his first season at the football club. Obviously, we got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer, so he's the second most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world at this present time. Now, Harry Maguire was recently given extra time off for his arrest in Greece and his court case in Greece. He did get given a suspended sentence of 21 months and 10 days. So that is the breaking news on him. Now, let's go into some news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So do you think Manchester United are going to sign Jadon Sancho in this summer transfer window? Now, there was reports coming out yesterday saying that we are considering ending our pursuit of Sancho. Main explanation is because of Borussia Dortmund's demands. Now, it says we've been looking at three alternatives recently to Sancho, and that is Gareth Bale from Real Madrid. I heard that he's available for around £22 million. We have been in for Gareth Bale for several years. I think we've been in for him since like the David Moyes era. Now, Bale's a much cheaper solution than Sancho. The only element of concern about Bale is that he's injury prone. Recently trained away from the rest of the Real Madrid squad. I think he's recovering from a knee injury. Bale has endured 7 seasons with Real Madrid, won a total of 13 major honours. Still got a contract with Madrid until 2022. Real Madrid did pay £85 million in from Tottenham back in 2013. And he enjoyed a very good 6 years with Tottenham, so he's obviously proven in the Premier League. And he was very, very close to joining the Chinese Super League at one point. He was offered £1 million a week, but his move never materialised. I don't think Bale is part of Zinedine Zidane's plans. Also, too, Douglas Costa, he's another alternative we've been looking at. And João Felix from Atletico Madrid, he's another alternative we have been looking at. Now, Manchester United want to complete the signing of Jadon Sancho next week. We want to get him in time for the Crystal Palace game. So possibly could be making his debut against Crystal Palace next week. Solsjaer has held several negotiations with Jadon Sancho. And Sancho has told him that he wants to play for the football club. Now, he did recently say that we'd submitted a £90 million bid, with a further 18 million due in performance-related add-ons, and it says this will be paid in instalments over the course of the next 2 to 3 seasons. Now, we know that Borussia Dortmund remain ruthless over their valuation. Their valuation is £108 million, and they will not lower their valuation. Now, I have said throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. Fabrizio Romano did recently reveal that the personal terms, the agent fees, and also to a contract worth 250 grand a week's all been agreed. Obviously, 250 grand a week, that will make Jadon Sancho the third highest paid player at Manchester United, behind De Gea and Paul Pogba. Jadon Sancho, by the way, recently revealed why he's sometimes late for Borussia Dortmund training. That's because of his sleeping problems or something like that. But yeah, it's still a chance it could happen. Obviously, quite a few weeks ago, Sancho to Manchester United looked dead in the water. Because obviously, Borussia Dortmund were very, very convinced that he'll stay with them for at least another season. It had mentioned that we had abandoned our chase for the player until the summer of 2021. And don't forget last month, Dortmund... What? Why? Alright. And Dortmund said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player, and obviously we missed out on that deadline, so Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. But Mike Phelan, our assistant, don't forget, he recently said that Manchester United could be closing in on a deal for Sancho. He's been recently following Sancho on Instagram. Like I said, Sancho's enjoyed 3 good years at Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, Dortmund only paid £8 million in from Man City back in 2017, so they got him for next to nothing. But analyse his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. Sancho has got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. The main explanation Sancho left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. We know that Sancho will be our next number 7 if he joins the football club in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, but we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. And Manchester City will benefit from it if he's sold in this summer transfer window, because they do get around 15% of the transfer fee. But Sancho does remain our number 1 priority target, and it said the other week we will not give up on the signing of the player unless he publicly says he wants to stay. So Sancho could possibly be our second signing in this summer transfer window. I also want to confirm with you that we have put Diego Dalot and Timothy Mensah up for sale. Solsjaer doesn't think Diego Dalot is good enough to represent Manchester United. Obviously, we got Diego Dalot in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid around £19 million in from Porto. He has got a contract with us until 2023. Before PSG and Barcelona have been interested in Diego Dalot. Obviously, last season didn't really play much because obviously he was out for the first part of last season with back-to-back injuries. So I think we do need to get rid of Dalot. Timothy Mensah, he played a few games towards the end of last season. Obviously played in the game against Crystal Palace. That was his first appearance for the club, I think, in like 15 months. And he also played in the West Ham game. So them 2 players are up for sale. Obviously, on my recent video, I give you the news on Sergio Reguilón from Real Madrid. He's moved now to Manchester United, looks dead in the water, because he has revealed his preference. His preference is to go to Sevilla on loan for another season rather than come to Manchester United. Don't forget, Real Madrid have said that they want to insert a buyback clause in any deal for Reguilón. So it's looking like, now he's not going to be coming in. You already know the news on Alex Telles as well. He's another left-back on our agenda. But 3 weeks now until the summer transfer window shuts, is it? And Manchester United have still got quite a lot to do. Obviously, we've got to make more signings. We've obviously got to offload players. We could offload at least 8 players in this summer transfer window because, quite frankly, there is still deadwood in the squad. So there's a few things Manchester United have got to do. But Solsjaer recently gave us an update on our transfer plans, and he said we will remain active in this. We do remain active in this transfer market. And we've only made one signing so far in this summer transfer window, and that's obviously Donny van der Beek. But Solskjaer has confirmed he wants to make 3 more signings after Donny van der Beek. And you can see that Solskjaer's trying to change the culture of the club, and he's obviously, trying to improve the squad. Solskjaer's obviously progressing as Manchester United manager, and he's publicly admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window if we are to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool and now perhaps Chelsea. But I just think Solskjaer deserves more backing because I don't feel as though he's getting backed enough. Woodward said a few times that he's determined to back Solskjaer in this summer transfer window, and he assured at the first part of last season that his job is safe. The Glazers, they've said they're determined to back Solskjaer. But Solskjaer did recently say that he was frustrated with the board, obviously over the lack of transfer business. Our recruitment policy's been poor for several years. We've overpaid for players in recent years as well. And a lot of the players we have recruited in the last 7 years haven't been the right calibre players for Manchester United. And we've recruited 30 odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era and spent close to the £1 billion range on them players. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012, and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. But if we are to challenge for the title this season, we need more signings. Because I did say one of our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title. We haven't marked any title challenge up in the last 7 years. And obviously, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. And I think another one of the expectations this season will be to win a trophy, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Solskjaer era, and we haven't won out for over 3 years. That's the first time this has happened in just over 30 years or so. But yeah, there's still 3 weeks to go. But like I said, there's teams around us that have done very, very good recruitment. By far, it's Chelsea that have done the best recruitment. They've brought the likes of Ziyech in, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Ben Chilwell, Mensah, Thiago Silva. I think they've just recently got Mendy in. Didn't they also get another player in? Now, obviously, they try to get Declan Rice. Arsenal, they've signed Gabriel Magalhaes and Willian. Liverpool, they've only signed Sigmas so far. City, they've signed Nathan Ake and Ferran Torres. Leeds, they've also made around 9 signings as well. Tottenham, they've also made some good signings. Obviously, they got Holberg in, they got Joe Hart in, they got Doherty in, and I think they also got Kyle Walker-Peters in as well. So they've done some good recruitment. But this summer transfer window, Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager, I've got to say, our recruitment has improved under him. It really, really has. So far Solskjaer spent just over £200 million at Man United. Obviously, he's brought 6 senior players in, made 5 permanent signings, and obviously got Maguire on loan. Solskjaer's also brought a few academy players in to the football club. So it's good that we've got a lot of young players coming through at Man United. It's good that we're bringing a lot of young players in. And there's obviously a lot of good young players coming through at Manchester United. Like I said, I don't know if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Man United, and I don't know if he's the right manager as yet. I think this season will tell the story. Because obviously, this season's going to be his 2nd full season at the football club, and Solskjaer knows that he's got bigger Solskjaer knows, that there's improvements needed this season. I think Solskjaer's still got to improve his decision making. I still think there's certain players that have got to improve at Manchester United. There's still aspects of our game that have also got to improve. But don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements under the Solskjaer era. I really, really have. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he came in. There's definitely players that have really, really improved under him as well. We haven't lost in the league since January, so we are unbeaten in our last 14 league games and that. So, these are the improvements I have seen. But it is a transition period at Man United, and it has been a transition period for a while. Now, don't forget, the vast majority of this team is not Solskjaer's. Solskjaer's inheriting a lot of players here from the Jose Mourinho era. Still a few players here from the Van Gaal era. Still one player here from the Moyes era. And still a few players here from the Alex Ferguson era. So yeah, like I said, he does need more time at the football club. Now, if things were to go right this season, then possibly we could extend Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's contract. If things were to go wrong this season, then he probably could get sacked as Manchester United manager, because at the first part of last season, don't forget, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, there was talks of Solskjaer getting sacked by the football club. And obviously at that point there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. Obviously, last season was Solskjaer's first full season at the football club, like I've already said. I thought he did quite well. He did exceed most expectations. Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us third, and we also progressed to 3 semi-finals. Got to the EFL Cup semi-final, the FA Cup semi-final, and the Europa League semi-final. But like I've said to you on my recent videos, I think Solskjaer has been in a similar situation to what Jose Mourinho was in. Because obviously, Jose Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Manchester United. And in the summer of 2018, Mourinho made it clear to our board that he wanted to get a centre-half in. Obviously never got that centre-half in. So this is one of the main explanations why it didn't work out under him. Mourinho had bad disputes with the board, and he also had bad disputes with the top players as well, don't forget. But we did win 2 trophies in Mourinho's first season. That was the Europa League and the League Cup. I think we also finished second in his first season. But I want Solskjaer's managerial tenure to work out, because at the end of the day, he's a club legend and he was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. And we know that Solskjaer hasn't got a fantastic pedigree behind him. So this is why some Man United fans believe we won't win the title under him. Obviously, Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. Obviously, before he was at us, he was at Molde. Won a few Norwegian titles with them. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. And his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of players I would keep at Manchester United. We have got some very, very good players. Definitely keep Luke Shaw at Man United. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone. Obviously, Luke Shaw's endured 6 years at the football club. We did get him from Southampton back in 2014 for 30 million. Obviously, Luke Shaw's our first choice left back. Just got to improve his fitness, really. Definitely keep Williams. He's our backup left back. Last season was Williams' first full season in the senior squad. Don't forget, Williams recently got given the number 33 shirt. First player to wear the number 33 since Paddington Nair, I think. Definitely keep Greenwood. He's the foreseeable future for Man United. For the vast majority of last season, Greenwood didn't get a lot of starts, but towards the end of the season, he got a lot of starts. But for the vast majority of last season, his appearances were coming from that substitutes bench. But he looks very effective on that right-hand side. Don't forget, Greenwood was recently dropped from the England squad by Gareth Southgate. Definitely keep Rashford at the club. I think Rashford is the foreseeable future for Man United. Rashford has been a United player since the age of 7. He's been in our senior squad since 2016. Since then, has become an integral part of our team. So Rashford's been at part of the club for several years. I think he's been with us now around 15 years. We know now he plays on that left-hand side. Definitely keep Anthony Martial, because he's really improved under Solskjaer. Martial's endured 5 years with Manchester United, and he's had 2 good years out of the 5 years he's been with us. Did well last season under Solskjaer, and did well in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. And we know now, obviously, Martial plays in that number 9 role. I think also too, we need to keep Fred, because, Fred's been he was exceptional for us last season, I've got to be honest with you. Obviously, since the arrival of Bruno Fernandes, Fred has found game time very, very difficult at Man United. Obviously, there was rumours recently of him possibly leaving. Galatasaray were interested, and so too were Roma. But Fred has come out and told 442 that he wants to stay at Man United. That's my desire, and I don't want to leave. And he wants to be an essential player for the club and to win trophies with the club. Fred's been at the club a few years now. We paid £52 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. Fred has got a contract with us till 2023. Definitely keep Matic, because I think there's definitely aspects of his game that have improved. Weren't so long ago, Matic signed a 3-year deal with the club. Matic has enjoyed 3 years with us. We've got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Matic was getting there ahead of Fred and McTominay towards the end of last season. Definitely keep Scott McTominay. I think he's a foreseeable future for Man United. I think he's now our first choice defensive midfielder. McTominay, at the final part of last season, signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United. Definitely keep Wan-Bissaka. He's the foreseeable future for us. Obviously, this season's going to be Wan-Bissaka's second season at Manchester United. Obviously, last season was his first season at the club. Obviously, we've got Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. But we need to see more attacking intent from him, because that's what he is lacking at the moment. I think definitely keep Victor Lindelof, even though he's still got to improve as a Man United player. There has been a lot of uncertainty over his future, but I think Lindelof will stay at Man United at least for another season. I probably would keep Eric Bailly as well, despite the fact that he's injury prone. He's been subjected to some transfer speculation, Bailly, but I think he will remain with us for at least another season. Obviously, we're going to be keeping David De Gea at Manchester United. Like I said to Solsjaer has got a goalkeeping decision to make. What's he going to do? Is he going to put Dean Henderson as number 1, or is he going to keep David De Gea as number 1? Personally speaking, I would put Dean Henderson as number 1, because I think now Dean Henderson is reliable enough to become our number 1 goalkeeper, because he has got that experience behind him, but we shall see. Definitely keep Bruno Fernandes. We're going to keep him. Definitely Bruno Fernandes is the foreseeable future for Man United. He's been absolutely exceptional since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon in January. I think we got Bruno Fernandes in a deal worth like £50-odd million, was it? He's won Premier League Player of the Month like 3 times, scored like 12 or 13 goals for us in all competitions. When he signed, I think Fernandes signed a 5.5-year deal. Odion Igalo, I think we're going to obviously keep him at least until his loan expires. Is there a possibility chance we could inquire about getting Odion Igalo permanently? I don't know, but obviously Igalo was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. We obviously brought Igalo in on deadline day in January as a cover-up to Marcus Rashford, because at the time we got Igalo in, Marcus Rashford was out with that back injury. Don't forget. So there's definitely a lot of players I would keep at the club. Paul Pogba, it's very, very imperative that we do keep him, because obviously we don't want to let Paul Pogba go, because I thought towards the end of last season he was exceptional, and his combination with Bruno Fernandes was very, very good. I thought he also did well in some of our Europa League games, did Paul Pogba. But for the vast majority of last season, didn't really have a perception on him because he was out with that ankle injury. Pogba sustained a few injuries as a Manchester United player. This season is going to be Paul Pogba's 5th season at the club since rejoining from Juventus back in 2016. We paid £89 million for Paul Pogba, so as it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing. Now, I give you the news regarding Pogba recently. He returned to Man United training yesterday. because he's just recovered from coronavirus. But Solsjaer's confirmed he's a doubt for the opening game against Crystal Palace. But hopefully we can get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club. Hopefully we can do this. So yeah, so there's definitely a lot of players I would keep at Manchester United and that. But like I've said to you, in the last 7 years, we have been playing catch-up, haven't we? We've had different managers with different philosophies. We've obviously sacked 3 managers since Ferguson era. Obviously, we haven't dominated English football since the Ferguson era. Ferguson endured 20-odd years at Manchester United, endured over 20-odd years of success. But don't forget, Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. So remember that. But Ferguson did win a total of 38 major honours, obviously including 13 Premier League titles. So we are the most successful team in Premier League history at the moment. But in the entirety of our history so far, we have won 45 trophies. So yeah. So hopefully we can sign Jadon Sancho next week. If we don't get Sancho, then obviously, we're looking at cheaper solutions than him. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.